What's up, guys? Today we're going to be reacting to some YouTubers. We're going to be reacting to YouTube. So, let me just get this good here. Okay, Google, open up Googs, Kai the Red Dead guy, YouTube, search. Probably we'll start with Mr. Beast. I spelled it Mr. Best. Please, have mercy. I'm sorry I killed you from that. Build 100 walls in Africa. That's a good one. Went 7 days, varies a lot. Oh, this is a really good one. We'll watch a little bit of that. Why did there have to be an ad? Stop. Call me cringe. Everybody call me cringe.
Brayden has amazed me. He's so strong.
This is the most insane laser obstacle ever created.
And this is just one of many dangerous and extreme laser mazes that we built for this video.
And whichever one of these 10 contestants survives the longest wins 250 grand. Everyone follow me. Welcome to room number 1.
Are you freaking kidding me?
See, look, it's literally.
The rules are simple. You need to go touch that box of money, but you touch a laser, you lose $250,000.
Look at that.
The billion-dollar question is, who's going first?
Yeah, let's cut to the chase.
No, am I out? Did I just...
Yep, he's out.
Only 9 remain.
No, yes, you got it, you got it.
All right, we got our first finisher. We got a second.
Another one. I'm gonna skip to where it gets like crazy. Here's where it gets like crazy.
Oh, underneath it.
If you actually can hear me burping, that's crazy. But yeah, it's because I'm drinking Mountain Dew. Again, did I say that I was drinking it in my other videos? Gamer Fuel. I probably didn't upload that video. I think I did a video playing Stardew Valley with my dad.
Let me take that. Let's go. Come on.
I'm gonna tell you one thing. Skip had like 30 seconds. 3. If you don't want to spoil it, 3, 2, 1. Okay, so here's if you did want to spoil. So I modded the game basically. I modded Stardew Valley. Okay, now I'm done. In the comments, say how long that was.
Give me the box.
Touch the box.
Probably actually like 10, 5.
Dobbs, baby. Let's go.
That one got the adrenaline pumping.
Prepare for the biggest 3.5 seconds of your life.
How long can a person go without sleeping?
I've gone like 48 hours for sure, no problem.
Why? This.
Yeah, this is a mental challenge. Trying to stay zoned in. Going on 5 a.m. right here, but I came this far. I've been confident this whole time. I promise. I'm ready.
It's like, what, 5 a.m.? Yes. I don't even know. I'm tired. But like, I got to do every one of these rounds and just like show people that I can do it.
I hope they both win.
That's just not how it works.
They both really deserve it.
Just to add suspense, we made them wait a few hours.
This sucks.
I know.
And the end is cringe. I'll show you the end. How cringe
Hold
the
there
end
for
is.
1 second. Player number 4, come on in.
Holy smokes. Okay.
Since there's only 2 of you, this one's a little different. You either touch the money first, instantly winning it, or your opponent touches a laser before you, thus they're eliminated and you instantly win. Number 4, does that make sense?
I hear you loud and clear.
Number 6, does that make sense?
Makes sense.
I'm gonna give you both 30 seconds to weigh this massive strategic decision.
This is for all the marbles. I want to win this.
Dude, my heart is. Whew.
Dude, he looks so nervous right now.
Wow.
Like, if you
Sorry
try to
about
run
the
this, you're
captains,
gonna
it's
hit a
just-
laser. I'm just standing there. That is definitely the strat.
I don't know what's wrong with
Play
the captains.
offense.
They're not
As
lined up
fast as
with
I
where I
10
am.
more seconds.
As fast as I can. Release the dogs.
I'm gonna send it. I'm not waiting for him to mess up. I'm gonna send it.
Say the word, Jimmy. Let me go. Let me go.
I'm not waiting.
3, 2, 1, begin. All right, like I thought, Blake is going for it. He is way ahead. Okay? All right. They're about tied. Okay, so far no one's out.
Oh, that was close.
Oh, Blake is way ahead.
Don't ask what I'm
Yeah.
doing.
Our only hope is
Okay,
that
I'll
he
tell
ends
you
up
what I
getting
was
out
doing.
here.
Removing that old thing. You know that old thing on the top that you used to open up the can? I was trying to remove that. I didn't do it.
Oh, he hit a laser.
What?
Oh, he
I really
did.
shouldn't be
He hit it.
drinking
You're lying.
this
No,
Mountain Dew.
hey,
It's
cut
like
the
7.
lasers off. It doesn't matter.
7.
Turn them all off.
This is the
Oh,
cringe
don't
part.
headbutt it. Okay,
For all you
okay,
boys out
stop
there,
hurting yourself.
What?
say cringe
That's freaking
in the
great.
comments. Watch something else. What else are we watching, guys? No, we're watching a different YouTuber now. Sorry about that. Eric's pretty good. I know a good YouTuber we could watch. All right, next we'll start working our way down to like Point Crow and stuff, and Smallland, and so now we're gonna do Mark Rober. There he is, Mark Rober. We're finding that that squirrel maze. Where's the squirrel maze?
Which has more destructive power, lava or acid? Well, to answer that question, today they'll be going head-to-head in a bit of a scientific face-off by testing each against 7 objects, including a turkey.
There it is.
This is a bird feeder, and everything to my left is my attempt at making it squirrel-proof. If they want the bird seed, they will first need to pass through what is basically an 8-part Ninja Warrior
This is a
obstacle
different
course
one.
for squirrels. This course is extremely
I didn't watch the.
challenging. It is
I
not
watched
for
the
the
different
timid
one.
of
This
heart. But
one's
out of the
different.
gate, I will admit that in hindsight, that I completely underestimated my adversary. Now, if you're wondering why I would go through all this trouble, we need to go back 8 weeks ago when I found myself stuck at home and very bored. So I installed a bird feeder and decided to become a bird watcher. And it was just so lovely. Until they showed up. Now luckily my bird feeder had a wire cage around it, big enough for the birds to slip inside, but small enough to prevent the squirrels from getting the food. And that worked really well until right here. For me, this was like the moment in Jurassic Park when they realized the velociraptors can open door handles. And once the door was open, it was clear this wasn't their first rodeo. They basically cleared this whole tube of birdseed by the end of the day. Mind you, this bird feeder was advertised as being squirrel-proof, so I bought another squirrel-proof bird feeder to replace it. It's got this outer cage suspended by some springs, and so if a bird comes and lands here, it doesn't weigh that much and it has access to the seeds. However, if a squirrel comes, it'll grab onto this cage, its weight will force the springs down, thereby preventing access to the seeds. I have no idea how the squirrels could possibly outsmart this, but let's
They're gonna open the
And this
top
one worked
again.
exactly as
I bet you if
intended.
anything,
You can
they're
see the
opening
birds
the
love
top
it,
again.
but when the squirrel comes along, the cage shifts down and now all the seed ports are covered up. Every time they tried, it was the same results. However, the next morning, this guy manages to unclip the springs
Why
that
don't
hold the
you
cage
just
up,
put
which
like
means
a
the cage stays
barrier
in the
around
lowered
it,
position where it
and the
blocks all
barrier
seed
is just
openings.
made of
Problem with
like a
that is now
steel
they
with
can
a
get to the
tiny
lid.
hole
But this bird feeder
that
lid
only
doesn't
the
hinge
birds
open
can
to
get.
give direct
Just
access. So
Mark
he goes
Rober,
with a
you
different
know
deck.
mechanics. You can engineer and make this. If you guys
Well,
don't
he
know,
has
Mark
access
Rober is
to all the birdseed
literally
he wants.
an
And so I
engineer,
decided I
and
would
I'm
try
surprised
one
he
more
hasn't
bird
figured
feeder
out.
design. Okay. Wow. It almost feels intentional at this point. This one's supposed to work well
Yeah,
because it's got this
he does
back
it
hook, which
right
is supposed
in
to
the
keep the
camera.
squirrels from just coming straight down
Right
and
in
getting
the
the seeds. And
camera,
more
too.
importantly,
Ugh.
there's no way for them to rip this
Yeah,
off.
ugly.
We'll see. This
Why?
one debuted
Why
to
does
similar
that-
results.
Is that
As he
fat
hangs by a few
Gus? Well, he's
toes,
not actually
this is
fat.
when I really started to gain an
Fragment.
appreciation for what they were capable of. It
But-
definitely seemed like this bird feeder was their favorite. Okay. Yeah, they're flexing on me for sure. And at this point, a plan was forming
yeah, they
in
were
my
flexing
head. But
on
just
you.
to be thorough,
They were
I moved the
flexing
post
on
away
you
from the
like they were
fence,
as-
and I can't say I was
like
surprised
they were as
when they just
buff
climbed it. Nor was I
as
surprised to see they
as
could
the
shimmy up
Undertaker.
and down a small metal pole, or even a large one for that matter. And whether they could climb a certain pole material was
Let's get
one
to the
shot. And
chase.
it's-
Let's cut to the chase where they're actually doing stuff. We don't need to know about Clash of Clans. Okay, I actually tried to get Google Play. I tried to it. I failed.
child was the only one I had a say in. So rest
I don't need to know. We don't need to know how he made it.
Fat Gus. He's just really charming and will strike a pose if he sees a camera. He also really likes to eat, and he tips the scales at an impressive 800 grams. While most of the squirrels are kind of particular before making a selection and then gracefully leaping away, Fat Gus just goes for it, hands free. Just makes himself real comfortable. Here he is laying out with a light snack from the bird feeder. I mean, you can't fault the guy for just clearly appreciating a good meal. So now that you know our 4 contenders, let's get back to Rick. So he hops back on, and he's actually doing better than his first attempt. Just barely. This is the
Rick.
best because he's like, okay, I got this. Never mind. Well, maybe No, I definitely don't. And this was the exact moment I realized I just might be outmatched here.
Whoa! What? What? No!
Marty was watching Rick,
Flying
and after a quick
score.
dip of his toes in the water,
No!
adopts his strategy
No!
right after.
No! You deceived me, Mark.
So close.
Mark, you deceived me.
But an excellent
What?
And Fat Gus, perhaps predictably, comes up a little short. Which brings us to the Maze of 1,000 Corridors. Which, to be honest,
Bro,
they mastered this
Rick.
one pretty quickly.
Are you an athlete?
Here's a
Are
solid
you
run
like
from
Juju
Fat
at my
Gus.
school, dude? Like, Juju's so fast.
And now
fast.
for the Pitchfork Tumblers of Treachery.
I was usually
Marty
the
was
peak
like,
person dead.
"Yeah,
I
that's
was
a hard
usually
pass."
crawling around
Fat
the
Gus is
school
just
like
like,
the slowest slug.
"Abort!"
That was dead.
Frank is just like,
Okay, I'm not gonna act
Then
like
he's
Sunny
wait a
again.
second.
Okay, I'm not acting
Still
like
nope.
Sunny.
Then Marty flies in real hot over
He
the
said
top.
that
He didn't make it
exact
through, but that's
thing.
partial credit as far as I'm concerned. And then
Sunny,
here's Fat
I'm
Gus
sorry
with
if
my
you're
favorite
watching.
attempt by far.
But he isn't. Not many YouTubers actually watch my videos. Other than like my family, some of my family
And
are
then Frank
YouTubers.
shows no fear, which helps him pull off this near flawless run. And finally, Smart Rick surgically weaves his
Like
way
my
through,
dad was
essentially untouched.
actually
And I should
in-
mention, the squirrels were most active from
he's
6
in
to
the
10
other
a.m.
room right now.
So
He's
every
playing
morning I've
Halo
been getting
right
up before the sunrise to start filming from in my house like one
Stop
of those
asking me to play
camouflage
Halo
nature
now.
photographers.
Stop
Or
asking
like
me.
a
Stop asking
suburbanized
me
version.
in your
I
brain.
also had a
I
handful of
saw
streaming
that.
cameras
I
running
heard that.
24/7,
I
which is a lot
heard
more than
that
such
in your
discoveries as
mind.
We have the world's worst guard
You want
dog.
me to play Halo,
Thanks
but
for
I'm
the
not
help,
gonna.
pal.
'Cause-
Now back to the
Sorry
home
guys,
here.
but I
You can see
don't
Rick
like
is
Halo.
instinctively
I don't.
suspicious
If
of
you're a
this
fan of
gold
Halo,
digger, and only
if
for
you're
a
my
brief
dad,
moment puts his
my
foot
dad
on
is
the
gonna be
platform. I
screaming
told
in
you he was
comments.
smart.
Halo is the
Marty, on the
best.
other
Halo
hand-
is the best. Halo is the. That's what my dad's gonna be screaming because he gets notified whenever I make a new video because of the
She is a
ring that
cool
notification bell.
And because I know my wife is going to ask me, no, this will not hurt the squirrel for 2 reasons. Number 1, they are amazing like cats and always land on their feet. And 2, they themselves were jumping from this height all the time, and in some cases, much higher. In fact, squirrels are one of the few mammals that can survive a fall from any height because they make their terminal velocity so low. You can see it right here. They make their body as flat as possible, then put their tail back to increase drag. They basically become their own parachute. And then right before they land, they pull in and fully extend their arms and legs to act as shock-absorbing landing gear. This is so cool. Now back to the course where even Smart Rick eventually lets his guard down, which is exactly when she strikes. But just like all the other obstacles so far, after a day or two they'd mastered. In this
So,
case,
yeah, it's a
even
little-
disregarding her
Oh.
offering of a before Fantastic Gus got any ideas. So here's a single camera shot of a full run, and by the end, all of them could do the full course in less than 40 seconds.
This is
And while
this is
we're
how a full
watching,
run.
you might be
They
wondering
get
what
through
happened
there,
to the
they get
squirrel
the
opponent.
maze.
Unfortunately, they didn't really fall for my illusion much, but I'm about to show you the 2 times they did. And as a promise to my wife, I turned the pressure to only 40% full power, so the acceleration the squirrel would feel is about half a G, which is 10 times less than a typical roller coaster. Additionally, I never turned on either the homewrecker trapdoor or the launch platform when I wasn't actively watching from inside my house where I had a manual override button. Because as safe as it was, something about launching Fantastic Gus just didn't feel right. Now what you're about to see is going to look pretty chaotic, but when we check the slow-mo, amazingly, I'll show you how the squirrel is totally in control pretty much the whole time. Alright, now here's a second angle. Also, even if you don't trust my
is he
calculations,
okay?
I can assure you that the
Poor
squirrels did
squirrel.
not care. In both
Ow.
launch cases, they were back up on the course.
Okay,
in
you
like
can
5
launch them to
minutes.
the ground.
Here's the slow
But you shouldn't literally catapult. Look at that.
He does
Is
to
he
make sure
okay?
lands feet down.
What? Bro, that slow-mo
Did you
is
catch it?
epic, dude. Look.
The first critical moment is right here. He's already done the predictive math, and he's locked his head on the spot where he plans to land. And now his head will not lose that lock the whole way down. What's crazy is the time
Oh,
it
they
takes
lock
him
their
to
head
do
like
all the
they
predictive
lock
math
their
to know
head like
exactly where he will
30,
land
like
and to lock
30.
his head is
Bro, I mean,
300
I just ate
milliseconds.
turkey.
That's exactly
I've
this
been
long,
eating turkey
literally
for the
less
past
than the
3
blink of
days
an eye.
because they
That
had.
blows my
Call
mind, but if you
me
think about it, it makes
friends
sense these
in the
reactions
comments.
would have evolved to be razor sharp
Myself
if
for
you lived your
Thanksgiving
life
on
in
the
the trees,
19th.
constantly making
Anyway,
split-second
yeah,
decisions. Now, besides picking the landing spot with his head, the second trick
Probably
is with
not
his
a lot of you
arms.
are gonna see
When
this
he wants to keep
during
his
the
upper
night
body from
before
rotating, he has his
happy
arms out. But the
before
moment he wants to
Thanksgiving. But
rotate his upper
tell
body quickly, he
everybody
extends them
happy
out. And when he wants to stop rotating, he
Thanksgiving.
extends them out again. This is straight up
I
conservation
thought
of
you
angular
would.
momentum.
I would
It's the same
start a
trick
reaction
ice skaters
channel.
use.
It's
Basically,
like a
bring your
side
legs in if you
channel
want to
of
rotate
my
fast,
main channel, my
extend them out
reaction
if you want to
channel.
slow the rotation. My buddy Destin
And I'm
from
gonna
Smarter
put, like,
Every Day also made a
on
video
the title,
analyzing how cats always land on their feet, and they do the
Slash
exact same two
Kai
tricks.
the Red
The
Dead
head
guy
target lock
reacts.
and bringing limbs in to rotate and out to stop rotation.
We're doing that.
Here's the second launch.
React
And this
channels
may
don't
look
get too
like
many
pure luck in
subscribers,
real
but
time,
I'm
the slow-mo
gonna
tells
try
a
to
different
be
story.
the
In
most
that amount of
subscribed
time, he's already
by
made a slight lateral
guess
push in
here.
that direction and locked his landing target with his head.
31.
We know from the previous clip
The
he can
year
rotate his
that
body
I
to any
graduate
orientation,
from
but he doesn't in this
school.
case because he
High
sees his small push as
the year I graduate
for the
from high
perfect
school,
landing.
if we can
That's
be
just so cool.
the
And so
reaction
after those
channel,
two physics
which be
demonstrations, I disabled
at
both
least,
the
like,
launcher
the
and the
t- in the
home record
top
trapdoor and just let them enjoy the course in peace. As far as I was
Actually, no,
concerned,
the
they
top
had earned it.
30.
Plus, after
That
spending
would
a
be
month
awesome.
together, we were sort of
So
bros
to be,
buddies.
in order to
If
be
they
in
saw
the
me
top
coming out
30,
to
we'd
work, they
probably
would
need,
certainly
but
jump
like,
away, but then they just quickly be right back. And sadly, all good things
we
must
need to
come
pass,
to an end. And because I didn't
pass
want them to
probably
develop
at
an
least
unhealthy
like
dependence on
socks
my handouts,
react.
after about a week of free reign, I took down the course. But in its place, I put up a specialized squirrel-sized
So,
picnic table. Every
he
morning, this door
has
opens
3
to
million
release just a
subs.
few walnuts as a
By
little treat to
2031,
remind
we
them
need
of
to
our good
get
times
past
together. Although I had
3
to
million
laugh that after
subs,
all
but
this,
by
somehow I didn't
then,
anticipate on day
he's probably
one,
gonna
Frank
have
would
like
immediately
at
try
least
and
like
figure out
7
and partially
million. So we're
succeed
gonna
in
have to
finding
get
a
to
way to
like
beat the system. Like everything else, though, they quickly caught
8
on, and now
million,
on some
guys.
mornings I'll
It's
catch them
not
just waiting
good.
for the
We're gonna
daily
have to get a
ration,
lot of
chilling
subs.
patiently on the bench seat. That is everyone
We're gonna
but
need
Fantastic
8
Gus.
million
Don't ever change,
subscribers
buddy.
if you want
When I started
to
this
pass.
2-month-long adventure trying to birdwatch, I had no idea I would enjoy
But we
squirrel
did pass
watching so
to
much
my
more.
my
It's also
rival,
made me
my
realize
friend
that
rival.
even amongst the structures and
Smaller
pavement and power
YouTubers.
lines, how interesting nature can
Like,
be
one of them
in a
has
single
9,
suburban
I think one of
backyard
them had,
if
like,
you just really stop to
14,
look.
probably
Even the
15
plants
now.
are amazing.
But
I
we
had no idea
are
that as vines
crushing
grow, they spin
YouTube,
around
guys.
looking for something to grab
I'm
onto.
so
I
happy.
didn't
We've met my
anticipate the wide
goal. We're
variety of animals
gaining
that use fences as
subscribers.
inter-yard
Like,
highways to get
like,
around as a
so
substitute
good,
for all the
so nice,
trees that
guys.
existed before
I'm
we
sorry I
got
haven't been
Even
uploading.
little interactions like this
so
spider
I'm
extending his
sorry,
life
but
with this very timely leap into the unknown were just so delightful to see. But of all the animals,
Let me
I can
know in the
definitively
comments,
say
is
now
there any
that
games you wanna
squirrels
see?
are my absolute
I'd
favorite,
probably
and they're
have it.
certainly a more
Any game,
formidable
any game.
adversary than porch pirates.
Maybe
They're kind of adorable,
even I
incredibly
might
crafty,
I'm probably gonna
curious by
download
nature,
Elden Ring.
athletic, and persistent.
probably like
Turns
Kyle.
out squirrels can live to be
How?
20 years old, and so I like to think that
How?
someday Fantastic Gus
How?
will bring his grand squirrels
How?
to the fence and regale them with tales of
How?
cowboys
How?
and courage and legendary
How?
walnut piles.
How? Are you gonna do Elden Ring? How? How? It's too hard, Kyle. Guess what? I'm trained for Elden Ring. I've already played a harder game. You wanna know what that harder game is? Mountain Blade 2 Bannerlord. I'm not kidding though. I actually though. Dude Perfect. I've heard of Dude Perfect. I've never actually like watched Dude Perfect's videos though. Outdoor Boys. Like, that's a big bass, dude. Oh, I know a good video we're gonna watch. 20 biggest catches of all time. A video. Yep. Oh, there's many videos. 10 big top 10 biggest. Let's look at that. I've watched this video. I've watched a couple.
At just $89. So you don't have to change teams.
Now, oh, I'm surprised. Be Amazed popped up that easy. We might watch. Animals that were
The world of fishermen is a very interesting one. They spend hours or even days trolling for the perfect catch, and over the generations, many amateur fishermen have conflated tales of their one big catch to impress friends and acquaintances. But nowadays, with the internet and cameras everywhere, it's easier and easier to record proof of
My
monster
biggest fish
hauls.
was a carp.
On that note, we're going to be looking at 10 of the biggest catches of all time. Let's begin, shall we? Number 10. The largest lobster.
What? Look
Lobster
at that
fishing
thing!
is done by dropping baited traps into the water and then waiting for lobsters to come
It's
for
like a
it.
crab pot.
This system of capture often means that lobsters are hard to catch in large numbers, but it's still a widely profitable industry. Despite the potential for profit, lobster fishing is often seen as one of the most dangerous occupations in the world. Fishermen have become entangled in the lines used to haul up traps, and this can prove fatal in many cases. Despite the risks, hundreds of people take to the seas every year hoping to make the big catch. And in 1977, a crew off the coast of Nova Scotia, Canada, caught what Guinness called the world's heaviest marine crustacean, a 44-pound, 6-ounce North Atlantic lobster. While it is the largest officially recognized lobster, a massive
North
marine lobster caught in
Atlantic
1926 was
lobster.
said to weigh a shocking 51.5 pounds.
Wow. This isn't even that
Unfortunately,
big, though.
though,
This isn't
fish
even
was
that
never
big. It gets
officially
way
confirmed
bigger.
before it became
I've
dinner.
seen a dude who's caught like in
Number
1,000-pound
The
cat.
largest catfish.
Oh, this might be
Catfish
it.
are some notoriously large
That's
creatures,
not
and the
the
aptly
largest
named Mekong giant
catfish.
catfish is no exception. These giant fish live
Sorry,
along the
dude.
Mekong River between Lower Mekong and Vietnam
There's
and
a
the
bigger
Yunnan
one.
province
It's
in
not.
China.
It's not the world record. Where is that?
Unfortunately, they have been severely overfished and are currently a critically endangered species. On January 18, 2019, an unbelievable specimen was caught by a local fisherman. The monstrous Mekong was over 9 feet long and weighed an unbelievable 650 pounds.
No, the one is
Experts who verified the catch
870.
have said that it may not only be the largest catfish
That's
ever
not the
caught,
largest
but it may in fact be
catfish.
the largest freshwater fish ever caught in general.
No, it's not.
Number 8.
There's bigger.
The largest salmon.
Ooh, that's
Salmon
a
is a
big salmon.
notoriously common fish, and chances are if you've ever eaten at a seafood restaurant, then you've seen salmon on the menu. It is a staple of seafood cuisine and
Told my
can
dad
be
I
found
made-
on sandwiches, in cans, and as a regular feature with sushi. In the wild, salmon ranges from 3 pounds to over 100 pounds depending on the
Wow.
species, and without fail, the largest variety of salmon is the king salmon, sometimes called the Chinook salmon. In 1949, a group of fishermen in Petersburg, Alaska sprung a net trap and waited for it to fill with various species of fish. However, when they pulled up the net, they had caught a little more than they had bargained for. Among the fish was a 126-pound king salmon, and the fish was verified and to this day is one of the largest salmon ever caught.
Wow.
Number 7. The largest squid.
Largest squid.
It's no
Let's see how big
surprise
it
that
is.
one of the largest recorded squids is from the species known as
What?
the colossal squid.
Excuse me.
The colossal squid is even
What
larger than the giant squid,
in the
with members
world
of the
is
species
that
reaching
thing?
over 30 feet in length and
Oh
weighing
my
up to
God.
1,500 pounds. In February of 2008, fishermen in New Zealand hauled up a massive
In the
net.
comments, tell me
They had expected it to be filled with millions
what
of smaller fish that would be sold
what
commercially.
is something you asked
When
for
they got
for
to look at the
Christmas?
contents,
And I'll tell
though,
you
they
mine.
realized that the net contained several fish
And
and
mine
one
is
inconceivably
I asked
massive
for
33-foot
a
long colossal squid.
posthumous. Actually,
They
I'm gonna
realized
pull
the
pictures
specimen was truly something
real
special.
quick. Okay, Googles. Okay. R. Cat. Armored catfish. Where is it? Yeah, I got a picture of one. This is the one in the fish tank. This is what I want. This is an actual picture of what I want. I don't know if you guys see it right now, but... Oh, yeah, you see it. Yeah, it's the... That's an armored catfish right there. That green thing. That's like the mini armored catfish. That's what I want. That's what I want to get. Mini one. Look at how cool he looks. But I would need a fish tank. That's why. There's a whole video on the news about it, dude. Let's watch that.
Time for another round of every Floridian's favorite game. Guess that invasive species.
Oh!
All right, here's your clue. This dangerous animal is a cross between a cat, a fish, and armor. The answer here, the Plecostomus, or pleco, also known as the armored catfish. These non-native fish only eat algae. So you're probably thinking, what's the problem?
It's an invasive
that sounds
species.
like it would be a good thing, right?
Look at that.
Well,
Look at
that
that
is until you
beauty.
realize the
Oh,
negative
so cute.
effects this
I
fish can
want
have
that.
on one of Florida's most at-risk
I've actually
native
caught two of them.
species,
I've
the
caught
manatee.
two that are like
You can
bigger
see
than the
dozens
ones
of
shown on
plecos
screen.
clinging to a manatee, feeding on the
Well, maybe
algae
not bigger
grows
than
on
that one,
their
about that
backs.
size.
Imagine being swarmed by a cloud of mosquitoes. That's kind of what these fish feel
Bro,
like.
the seal is
cows.
literally being
That
attacked
kind
by
of
armored
stress can be really
catfish.
harmful.
That's gotta be a seal, right? That's a seal. But let's get cut to the chase with the biggest fish.
And they turn it over to the Auckland University of Technology. This is where marine biologist Steve O'Shea confirmed that it was the largest squid on record. Number 6. The largest marlin. Marlin are a species of fish most recognizable for their long, pointy nose and their incredible speed. Marlin can swim at speeds of up to 50 miles per hour or 80 kilometers
Actually,
an
not.
hour
I
and
haven't
weigh
seen
over
swordfish
1,500
first.
pounds.
I've
These
never-
massive speedsters are a popular target of
Actually, no.
sports fishing and
Why did I
tropical
say I've never
regions,
gone
and
to the
in fact,
ocean?
several
Went to the
species,
ocean,
including
but
the
I've never
white
been
marlin,
fishing.
are severely endangered due to overfishing. But back in
I haven't seen any
1970,
fish.
many people were finding out about exotic fishing opportunities for the first time, and the surge in popularity would lead to one of the biggest catches in history. In 1970, a group of anglers were out on a fishing adventure in Oahu, Hawaii. The group was out on a charter boat skippered by Captain Cornelius Choi when they landed the catch of a lifetime. The fish, which would go on to be dubbed Choi's monster after the captain, was a Pacific blue marlin weighing 1,805 pounds, and to this day it remains the largest marlin ever caught on a rod and reel. Number 5. The largest sea bass. The giant sea bass is a critically endangered type of bass that is most common along the Gulf of California, where they can be found in relatively shallow water, typically near kelp forests or underwater ledges. These enormous fish can reach 7 feet and weigh as much as 500 pounds, and they're known to eat anchovies, croaker, mackerel, sheephead, whitefish, sand bass, and even crab. But unfortunately, they're also pretty common prey for a number of species, most notably humans. Bass fishing is a massive industry, and everything from video games to stores have taken their namesake from the sport of bass fishing. It comes as no surprise then that every year thousands of amateur and professional fishermen take to the water to try and get their name in the record books. But that's no easy feat. In fact, the current world record has been in place since 1968 when a giant sea bass was caught at Anacapa Island. The fish itself weighed 563.5 pounds and measured in at 7.4 feet in length.
He's really
With
good at
diminishing populations and growing interest in other species, it is possible that this record may remain unbroken for quite some time.
Like he can make
Number
some.
4.
He can make quite a bit of money.
The largest crab. Alaskan crab fishing holds the distinction of being the most dangerous job in the United States.
Alligator.
According to analysts with the Bureau of Labor Statistics, it is the job with the single highest fatality
We're gonna
rate.
take a look at-
Which, if you're wondering, the best pick of the day, because this thing really doesn't have much of a name actually. This picture shows one of the most well-known and public cover-ups related to the world of fishing. In 1995, a large commercial fishing rig risked the lives of its crew members in a bid to bring this massive creature back to shore. However, when authorities arrived, they didn't receive the praise they expected. The creature was immediately deemed the property of the Russian army, and even academics were barred from getting close. This photo is infamously one of the only ones of the incident. After gaining possession of the specimen, it was immediately broken down and destroyed, and due to the lack of documentation of the incident and the circumstances surrounding it, it is widely believed that the creature was part of a biological weapons plan that was abandoned following the Cold War. Now, before we do get to our number 1 spot, let's take a moment for an honorable mention. Most of the animals on today's list have been the largest examples of species that are known for their size, but this entry is a little bit different. No fish completely embodies the idea of small stature quite like a shrimp, but one shrimp that isn't about to take your short jokes is the mantis shrimp. This species of shrimp has the ability to strike its enemies with a force of 1,500 newtons, and with a punch like that, it's no surprise that the mantis shrimp was the largest shrimp ever caught. Fishermen along the Indian River in Florida caught a shrimp that measured 18 inches in length.
I saved the best for last, but first, I have a quick challenge that takes only 5 seconds to complete. If you can leave a like and subscribe within the next 5 seconds,
guys, don't follow him. Don't follow him. You actually do follow what he says, but
From Hollywood movies to the League in their honor, one deep sea creature has captivated the hearts and minds of people everywhere for generations, and there's a good chance that they always will. That being sharks. If you scream it out of the beach, you will have people running in every which direction. But believe it or not, there is an entire industry filled with brave men and women
really
who make
big
it their
last
goal
time.
to get
I
up
couldn't
close
say
and personal with
I
these
couldn't say
infamous
anything because it
carnivores.
was too big. It was
In
too big. I
case you
couldn't
didn't
say.
know, shark fishing is a very real and very dangerous pastime. While there are many legal thresholds in place to protect vulnerable species, it is possible to acquire a license to take part in this larger-than-life version of fishing, and while most people aren't exactly hauling in great whites at the end of their line, some pretty big sharks do get snagged. So, just how big is the biggest one on record? According to the Guinness Book of World Records, declared that the largest fish ever caught was a whale shark that was 41 feet, 6 inches long, and several thousand pounds. What? What's the biggest fish that you've ever caught? Would you ever
The biggest fish I've ever caught is a carp. What about you guys? If you guys have ever gone fishing, or if you are a fisherman. But yeah, I mean that basically concludes things, and that was Kyther Red Dead Guy Reacts. We're gonna make another video like right after this.